Hi, my name is Val Kerman, and today we're going to be launching the Interplanetary Logistics Utilities Ship, or the much preferable acronym I+. Anyways, so yes, this is the fuel bay for the Interplanetary Logistics Utilities Ship, or I+, and we're going to be launching any second now. 3 seconds remaining, I think. Yeah, there you go. And we're off. So, this is the fuel bay. There's going to be 4 sections to the I+, the rear drive section which has been previously launched, this section which is the fuel bay, and we dropped our tanks, the next section which will be the fuel transport, and the next section after that, or the last section, will be the mining barge. Anyways, so we're just about to drop our next set of tanks, and we've got out of low atmosphere. And today I'm doing a manual launch for the most part. I say for the most part because I do use it later on, although I probably would have just been better off not using it, but whatever. To be totally honest, I can usually do a better job than MechJeb can do, but it's just faster to do it that well. I suppose easier. Less effective, but easier. And considering I'm having to deal with a lot of lag usually, faster is certainly a priority. When we've actually got this facial assembly chip, we can't actually use the autopilot to do maneuver nodes, and here we go with the final booster stage. And also, we should be getting out of the atmosphere soon. We dive out of the atmosphere quickly. Well, we surface out the atmosphere quickly and come back down and up, 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 up. Come on, pull, 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 pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. And we managed to arrest our descent before we get up to orbital velocities. There you go. We're done. And we are reaching orbital velocities now. And we are also just traveling up to 241 kilometers, so we can do 1,000 times acceleration, which is rather nice to be able to do. Although it does burn more fuel trying to get up there in the first place, and then doing the deorbit burn to get back into thingy, and then blah 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 blah. But as I said, it's faster, so faster over more fuel efficient, with considering the amount of fuel we have, and also that we're going to be doing a refueling run on the moon just to check everything out. I don't particularly mind burning up fuel. Well, yeah, we're doing the refueling run to do a test, really, that everything works, and we'll also be testing the moon lander on the moon as well. Mun. We're going to be testing the moon lander on the Mun. There you go. Anyway, so we're making our maneuver node to get an interception with the target ship. We've made it, and we've just got to turn around and then try not to overshoot it, and we fail. And there we go, we're on the maneuver node. Just fast forward and do our burn. There you go. Just trying to come in carefully. Yeah, and I fudge up here by... I use MechJeb to do the... oh, no. First of all, we're going to do a correction burn. And we fudge about a little bit because... you have to be very careful on the levers, and I keep on pulling them a bit too far. And yeah, we just do our 5 kilometer correction burn. There you go. And I do match velocities 120 seconds from now. Bad idea, Jones. I should have done it at closest approach. That was silly. And now it starts veering me off, and I just start to you know, manually correct. Which, to be totally honest, isn't a bad thing. It gets me closer in any ways, because it means I could have also skipped the correction burn, but doing the burn further out also does save you a delta V. But as I said, I'm not particularly much bothered about fuel efficiency, because I'm going to be doing, I want to do a refueling run. But we burn enough fuel going to the moon that we could have done the thing, but it doesn't really matter, is what I'm trying to say. If we burn a bit of extra fuel, we're not going to burn that much fuel correcting this. Coming in, and we are stopped. So now it's well, I don't know. Do we kick in the 8 times acceleration here? I think we do, yeah. Around about here was when we kicked in the 8 times acceleration. Because with this docking method, when I was using, what's it called again? The laser mod docking port tool, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is called, you really need to run up to actually get it correct, because it doesn't give you that much visual information on where you're traveling. It only gives you numbers, which are kind of hard to visualize. Whereas I changed to the Navyfish docking port thingy later, which is much better at giving you a visual representation of which way you're pointing, how blah 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 blah. It doesn't even, it has numbers on it, but you don't even really need to look at them that much. So we're nice and docked up. And here's where the fudge up comes. I didn't stage that properly. I was supposed to put the pod on separation first, give it like, say, 5 seconds, and then have the engine separate. When you do both at the same time, well, you saw the result. Kaboom! So, yes, this is finished. We're just going to do some quick turns just to see how fast it's turning at the moment, I think. Yeah. Which it seems to turn, considering the size, relatively well. Even though this is at 4 times acceleration, it still does turn rather well. Anyways, so this is the fuel transport, and just got to close down all these windows because they're cluttering up the screen. And there you go. And we've put it into 8 times acceleration because, as I said, we've actually, no, I didn't say that. We've got a lot of stuff to get through today. Really a lot of stuff, mostly just due to bad docking on my part. If I hadn't done that, I probably could have cut it down to, I could have probably done the whole thing in 4 times acceleration, a few bits in 2 times acceleration, but I kind of failed at the docking. To be totally honest, mostly not my fault, but you know, it was partly my fault because I didn't realise about the lag with the lag, but the ship was randomly turning back. Not this one. This one docks pretty well, I think, if I remember correctly. But with the next one, well, I'll let you see what happens. Anyways, yes, we're using the Kerbol attachment system to actually transfer fuel, as you can see in the top bit of the ship. Oh, now you can't see. Anyways, we're using Kerbol attachment system to transfer fuel. We've got a few containers for the Kerbol attachment system up there. So we could have got an intercept there, but we'd have burned a lot of fuel. And at this point, I was a bit like, I want to save fuel, so we'll just... Well, actually, no, I kind of just start to orbit about and then realise, oh, this is going to take rather a long time. Yeah. So then we realise this is going to take a while, and let's just circularise the burn. And we circularize, there you go. And that makes it a lot easier just to move around and blah blah blah. There you go. There you go. Oh, come on. I keep on thinking I've got it, and I've almost got it, but then I decide no. I am a bit fussy with my docking, with my interceptions. Because to be totally honest, I could be 5 kilometers off and it not really be a problem, because on the deceleration, well, matching velocities with target, I could just correct it as I do it there. But it burns more fuel, so generally it's a better idea to do it earlier on. But, yeah. And we move in. So we got ourselves down to 100 meters, 80, 83, 60, 50, and we're down to 24. Although I'll probably fudge that up when I'm doing the burn. Yeah, so going right back up whilst I'm doing the burn. The actual deceleration burn rather than the corrections. But it's not too far off. It's 32 meters. That's nothing. Like, it literally intercepts with... Oh, I got down to 7 meters. Yeah, we better stop soon. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so now we just burn upwards and slightly towards, so that then when we come up around the top, we are basically lined up. More or less. Yeah, there you go. So see, we're not basically lined up to dock. Anyways, so we're coming in. Yeah, just switching over just... Oh, and 8 times speed. Yeah, I was just switching over just to see if the alignment's dead correct on the target ship, which it is, and we're just sorting out the alignment, and we're dead straight. So now it's just time to power in. More power! Come on. Yeah, I do usually take a long time to dock these bigger things, but it's worth it because they're so big that you can't really come in at a high speed. Like 0.2 ms is my max limit. 0.3 actually usually breaks things, so there's that. And yes, so obviously we just launched the next thing as well, which is the mining barge. And we are out of the atmosphere. Thanks God for 8 times speed, because this is going a lot by a lot faster. Also, it's also just a faster rocket, because it has a smaller load to lift, so therefore it's faster, obviously. And our node has been created for us and been done for us by MechJet. So just sit back and relax for the launch. And create our maneuver. Oh, no, too early. Close that. Switch out to something in a higher orbit, so we can accelerate faster, and switch back. And spin that around. There we go, finally. Well, not quite yet, but almost. There you go. Okay, so now we've just got to do a 22.5 meters per second burn. In. Just got to accelerate. And. Yeah, oh god, nearly missed the node by accelerating too fast. But I did do it a little bit late, so it's a little bit off. But we can just do corrections when we're coming in for the approach. or not, because I came in I stopped warping way too close to the target and have to kind of like emergency stop and not doing it directly off, so I burned myself out farther from the target, but it was better than carrying on traveling in the same direction at a faster rate. Just transferring fuel up to the higher stage. Well, not the higher stage, I mean the actual mining barge. Mm. Mm. And now we're traveling in the right direction. Okay. So yeah, this is the one that I was talking about where it gets a little bit screwy. Um, Basically, for some reason, it's pulling off in one direction. Um, every time I try and either use the RCS or push one to the left hand, yeah, right hand, sorry, it'll keep on going because it keeps on pulling to the right hand. So, I don't realise that because there's lots and lots of lag. You can't really see it because it's going at 8 times speed, I think, at the moment. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, now it's going at 8 times speed. But it's going 8 times speed, so it's a lot more noticeable now as well. So you should be able to notice it as soon as it happens, won't it? So we start pulling now, and you see, I only push the RCS a little bit there, and it starts to drift. Try and recorrect, and no, keeps on going off to that side. See, and this keeps on happening for a minute, and I don't, as I said, realise because I'm going at about 4 frames per second at the moment. 4 to 5 frames per second. So it's a lot less noticeable that it's dragging in the wrong direction. But up and down is fine. It's sideways that screws me. Also backwards and forwards. Side to side and backwards to forwards. Up, down, backwards and forwards. There you go. Side to side is a problem. And we come in. Looks like we managed to dock anyways. No. And we almost crash into the thing. See, right here. No! Yep, we managed to dodge it. Because I didn't quick save as well, so there's that, which would have been really freaking sucky. So we turn it that way up. So we go through our normal docking thing, because I don't really want to have to exit and come back in, because it'll break the flow, but then I end up doing it anyways, but I'm almost lined up by the time I do it anyways, but I needed to do the final corrections when I finally do actually just go to Space Center and then come back. So yeah, we stop. We try and do most of our corrections with the boosters, the atomic rocket motors. And yep, keeps on dragging off. By this time, as I said, I had already realised that it was dragging off, but I thought I could do it, but I couldn't because it was just too much. To have to keep on correcting, and it was just much easier. See, now oh no, we haven't actually started to use the RCS yet. Now we have. See, now it's perfectly still. I thought maybe I'd got the RCS balancing off because that was a problem beforehand, but no, it was just the bug that sometimes crops up. Seems to happen quite a lot, to be totally honest. But anyways, so we've finished assembling the ship. This is it. This is the Inter-Planetary Utilities Logistics Ship, or I+, which I don't actually name it and actually change the name until next video, I don't think. Oh, but we're going to deorbit this because I actually put a probe body on for once. Doo-doo-doo, just got to point in the right direction, eventually. And here we go for cool re-entry effects. Yeah, I did want to exit because I was going about 2 or 3 frames per second by this point. So yeah, that was that. But then I decided, no, let's just get this out of the way and do it. And plus, if I exited it and the save wasn't outside of the atmosphere, I would, just spawn and then it would just disappear. But it can't actually save outside of the atmosphere, so it would have put me out. But oh well, shit happens. So here we go. We're just about to crash down. Kapoosh. And now it's time to make our burn to the moon. To do our flight, first of all we do our flight checks, but that only takes a second or two for you. I check each tank is filled up correctly and that the what's it called again? The fuel crossfeed is disabled between the docking node of the fuel transport and the fuel bay. Just turning around, now we're checking all the engines. Yep, we're all good. And there we go, and this took 6 minutes to burn. I can't imagine what a planetary burn is going to be like. So this was me just checking that everything was going correctly and nothing was getting drawn on that wasn't supposed to be. Also check the cross fuel feed again, just in case. Because I have time to spare. Yeah, it's a long burn. Anyways, as I said, next video we'll be checking the fuel transport and the blah blah blah, the mining barge. Excuse me. Oh. Also, we're probably going to put up a station around the moon and also around, what's it called again? Kerbol. Kerbin. Yeah, Kerbin. So that, I can do fuel transfers, etc., etc. But I'll probably do that all off camera because, we've been doing enough preparations as is, and let's get on with what we are here to do, which is actually traveling to other places. I've got to put up one more ship, which is a probe carrier, which I'll probably change the name of that sometime or another. But yeah, after that, we just need to refuel we need to transport the vehicle transport to the moon, and then, as I said, the probe carrier will also go to the moon. We'll test out the probes, although I'm pretty damn sure they'll work. I haven't tested them yet, but I did do a previous test on another iteration, so they should be just fine, and I've tested their landing ability. They can actually land around about, I think it was 15 meters per second, so it's pretty impressive, I think, personally. 15 meters per second landing, but they are quite small ships, so, there's not so many parts to break, whereas there are with bigger ships, where all my other ships have around about 10 meters per second tolerance for landing. Actually, I think it might have even been 20 meters per second for the lander probes, which makes them perfect for testing out terrain because they're rover probes. So basically, they'll find a spot which is suitable for landing, and then you bring down the fuel transport and the mining barge. Anyway, so we've finished our burn, our deceleration burn, but now we've got a change in inclination to 0 degrees. And just time warp our... Oh, no, got to move our node. Yeah, as you can see, I'm using smart-ass to keep our node, smart-ass, or whatever you want to call it, to keep our ship pointed at the node. Because of the lag, it's hard to keep the node, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so we're powering that, and we have a 0 degree inclination, or there and abouts. I didn't actually check, so whatever. Anyways, so we are currently at a 950,000 kilometer orbit at a 0 degrees inclination, or there and abouts. just turning the ship upways to prepare for the various amounts of dockings and undockings that we're going to do in the next video.